my mother, my grandmother, Grandmother Earth, Mother Earth. We're celebrating this weekend Mother Earth, this beautiful place that we call home. And Wednesday night was Rapping with the Rev. Every Wednesday night from 7 to 7:45 is Rapping with the Rev and special guests. And Don Simmons was with me this last Wednesday. And the dialogue went 100 different places that were beautiful in every way. The meditation, by the way, is still happening at 7:45 for those who like that and prefer that. But we exchanged some ideas about the Mother Earth that we share. You know, we put our prayers every Wednesday night into our minds and into our hearts and into our spirits and our souls, and we even put it into our hands and sometimes do hand gestures. And the idea came up, let's put our prayers, our intentions, our ideas into our feet and begin to have a more sacred relationship with that which is underneath our feet, Mother Earth. Because Mother Earth is the very portal that connects us. Mother Earth is a magnificent demonstration of oneness. You know, we pray for people all over the country. We pray for people in the White House. We pray for people in Syria, in the Middle East, as far away as China. You know, my father used to tell me I could dig to China if I dug hard and long enough. It was a nice excuse to get a ditch dug. But the reality is I spent a good portion of my young childhood, I was not the brightest bulb in the closet, trying to dig to meet my Chinese brothers and sisters. There's an easier way to connect with those people, whether they be in China or Syria, and it's to put our prayers into our feet. The Buddhists talk about walking meditation, and that every step you take is a prayer. And every step that you take on this Earth Day can be an opportunity to connect with the source, which is God, and the source that is Mother Earth as an expression of God. How would it be if we transmitted into the earth, into the soil, and there is a through line, by the way, you can trace it all the way through to Syria, all the way through to anybody you want to connect with. And Mother Earth as an energy field, as an energy conduit and receptor, receives that, and it is instantaneously transmitted to the feet of somebody else. So can our prayers connect through Mother Earth and through our feet in a beautiful cyclical energy of oneness? Oh, I believe so. Hold that thought as we share today. I grew up in California in a predominantly Hispanic culture. And some of my closest friends were the migrant farm workers. And so I grew up on a farm with other farmers. And the thing about the Hispanic culture that most spoke to me and about the farming culture is there was a deep reverence for earth. A deep understanding that there was a sacred act when our hands were dirty or picking the crops, whatever it was. It was a moment of oneness at the soul level. And they used the word Pachamama, Pachamama. Now at the time, I just thought it was some Mexican word that I would never understand, so I never asked them about it. And I let it go. I did learn some Spanish words when I was younger, but they weren't quite holy or sacred. And they got me into a lot of trouble. And then later I met my friend Sonia Osillo, who also uses the word Pachamama a lot. And this right here, this mandala, is a tribute to Pachamama, and specifically to the honeybees. That's honey in those jars. Because Pachamama is speaking through the honeybees. And we as a human race need to pay attention. We need to start paying attention and listening. So I began to explore a little bit about Pachamama. And Reader's Digest version, Pachamama is the mythological Incan fertility goddess that presides over the reaping and the sowing, the planting and the harvesting. In essence, Pachamama is just another name for Mother Earth. And the thing that most struck me about Sonia's relationship with Pachamama and my friends from my childhood is there is a deep reverence that I believe that we are missing on this planet today. There's a deep soul connection that I believe that a lot of us could learn a lot from, because sometimes I think we take advantage of this beautiful Mother Earth. We think it's her job. She's the mom. Moms will identify with this. You're the mom. You're supposed to take care of everything. You're the mom. But when you have a relationship with Pachamama, it becomes a cyclical relationship, that I am also the mother of this home. That she is not just my mother, she is my child. She is my grandchild. She is my sister. She's my brother. She is one with me. In fact, she is me. Because from these cultures I've talked about, oneness is not just a theory. Oneness is a state of being. And every step becomes an opportunity to connect at that deep soul level with Pachamama. How would life be if we didn't just say, this is a place we live, Mother Earth, and it became an intimate relationship 24/7, 365. I'm in relationship with this living, breathing organism that is our home, that is our planet. How would that spiritual reverence be if you were able to have that kind of mindset before your feet hit the ground, that your prayers of oneness were immediately ready to be in partnership with Pachamama? Viewed this way, it is our responsibility, as much as it is hers, to maintain the relationship. It is our responsibility, as much as it is hers, to maintain the relationship. Last week, Easter, we celebrated some sacred geometry, sacred symbols, and we used the symbol of the Gaelic cross, the Celtic cross, a symbol of expansion, a symbol of wholeness, a symbol of oneness. And the center of that cross is the human journey, the place of Pachamama. And the upward spire is the place of spirituality. And that was a marriage. And from that marriage, all expansion happens. All good goes out. And I love that the cross, we didn't just go this way and this way. We also went that way. And Pachamama joins us in that intention, in that prayer. Well, as I was investigating what I wanted to say for Earth Day, I was blown away, totally taken back, as I studied the symbology of Earth. Now we're going to go into the realm of science, astronomical symbols. And this is what I found. Notice the resemblance? Wow, there's a resemblance. Science and spirituality are kind of looking the same way, having the same understanding that there is a cross place. There is a symbol of wholeness, of perfection and oneness. And so I believe that science and spirituality is telling us that Pachamama, Mother Earth, is speaking, and she's speaking loudly, and we need to pay attention. But that spirituality on the earth, perhaps on this Earth Day, we can begin to consider that Pachamama is a vital part of our spirituality. Our religious path, our spiritual path, that Pachamama is integral, essential, important to the journey. You know, we go to our fancy sanctuaries. We go to our beautiful buildings, and they are magnificent and beautiful. But perhaps God will be more available in nature. Perhaps going to Pachamama is an important practice for us to do, to go for a walk, to find the face of God. Now, I'm going to tell you as a minister, do that Monday through Saturday. On Sunday, come to this sanctuary, because God is happening here as well. But she's an integral part of an evolving path, and in fact, I believe that Mother Earth, Mother Nature, is the sanctuary of the divine, the organic, natural, and most beautiful place to find the divine. And I believe, I may get struck down here for saying this, that we can learn more from Pachamama than we can from the esoteric scriptures of mankind. I believe that we have a lot of words that help us understand God, a lot of holy, sacred scriptures, and it's a wonderful path. But I believe that a more profound path is the one to go sit by a waterfall, to go sit by a tree and watch, to go watch nature, to go watch wildlife and pay attention. I think we would be better off as a human race if we spent more time learning. But don't take my word for it. Let's go to the experts. Myrtle Fillmore is the co-founder of Unity. This is what she had to say. Let's read this together. Nature is surely the glorified face of God. See the beauty about you and see the manifestation of the infinite mind. You want to find God? Go for a hike. You want to find God? Go for a swim. You want to find God? Take a look outside the windows as much as you're looking inside the windows here today. That's God out there, that green. John Muir, one of my heroes, celebrated his birthday yesterday. And he did so much to preserve this beautiful land and our park system. I hope we can follow in his footsteps. What does John Muir say? Let's read it together. I only went out for a walk and finally concluded to stay out till sundown. For going out, I found, was really going in. Thus, the circle that is Mother Earth. Going out, going in. I go out for a walk, I discover a new paradigm. I go out for a walk, I discover a new way to express this vast miracle of life. The circle is complete. There is a marriage of the earth and my spirituality that isn't just Easter. It isn't just Earth Day. It's a state of being. Now, Emily Dickinson, the great poet, gets a little bit more pointed, but this is how she starts one of her poems. Together, nature is the out-picturing of heaven itself. Could it be that the spiritual truth that we seek is as close as a tree? That the spiritual understanding of the oneness of God is as close as a flower? And that we've complicated the spiritual idea so much that we've forgotten to stop and pay attention and smell the roses. We've forgotten to just put into our feet an awareness to receive the energy of Pachamama, of Mother Earth, and then to give it back. And to know that we're connecting with the human race through her. Not as an adherence to our relationship with our humanity, but as the very conduit through which we unite in the place of oneness that we teach. Now here's where she gets pointed. In the final stanza of that same poem, she writes, nature is what we know, but we have no art to say. So impotent our wisdom is to her simplicity. So impotent our wisdom is to her simplicity. Take that in. We think we know it. Don't we think we have so much on the ball? We think we've got a corner on the market of truth, of God, and we espouse things, and I get up here and espouse things. But how impotent is what I have to say about God compared to what the trees are saying, the animals are saying. Perhaps the next workshop that we should attend, each and every one of us, is a beautiful dance with Pachamama. Let your feet dance with the source. God is the source that is working through the mother, the father, and the mother all together in a great dance that births you. And there comes a time in our history, all of us, where we also have to take care of the father and the mother, because it is a cyclical energy. It is a partnership. It is a marriage. Dickinson surely saw that the spirituality can be too complicated, and she called for a more natural spirituality. That's the call of Earth Day today. That's the call of the mandala. One that was both earth-centric and simple. You see, we talk about divine order a lot. There's divine order in this world. And you don't have to listen to any minister to find that divine order. Go out and sit for a couple of days, and you see the divine order, a give and a take without reservation, a giving and a receiving without blocks, without limitations, without complaint, I'm not getting enough. It just is. Well, let's go to some of the spiritual masters. The mystical arm of Judaism, that ancient, beautiful tradition of Judaism, is called Kabbalah. Kabbalah. In the Kabbalistic tradition, God and nature are synonymous. They're the same thing. There's no distinction. And what the Kabbalists clearly understand and indicate is that both God and nature are altruistic systems. They are as much for the whole as they are for the one. They are as much for the system and the completion of the entire system as they are for the one. So perhaps I can submit to you today that the only problem we have with our ecology, the only problem we have with this planet Earth, is our lack of cooperation with the laws of reciprocity, with an altruistic environment. At every level of nature, from insect to winged creature, from weed to redwood, fish to four-legged creatures, the individual works to benefit the whole of Pachamama, of which it is a part. And if you go back to the human history, there's a lot of people that awakened time and time and time again to the realization, oh, we may not be the center of the universe. This may not be the center of the universe. Today, I want to submit to you that we as the human race are not the center of Pachamama. That there is something deeper. We are part of a magnificent whole. And we have a part to play, a vital and beautiful and important part. But perhaps we can get out of an egocentric mindset that lives in the mind of humanity and says, I am just one of many. You know, I often say that in the microcosm of Unity North Atlanta Church, and I kind of beat this dead horse, you are one of many and you are vitally important, but the church doesn't revolve around you. That's a mindset that we're working on. I'm working on it here, and I'm working on it there. Let's take it to a greater degree and begin on planet Earth, on Pachamama, that we are one of many, but we are not the only one, and we are not the center. Each part receives what it needs for its own sustenance, and then spends the rest of its energy tending to the other parts of the whole. You see, without altruistic activity, the system dies. It does not persist. And ever seen a relationship like that? I'm sure you have plenty of examples in your life where there's one partner that's always taking, and one partner that is joyously giving and giving and giving. And what happens is you become the Dead Sea. You become the Dead Sea, you become a dead relationship. You become a dead environment because there is not that cyclical law of reciprocity. There is not that altruistic mindset, and therefore it is death. It is not life. Think about your body. Think about your beautiful, magnificent body. How would it be if every organ in your body was only in it for themselves and didn't pay attention to what was going on with the rest of the body? It just took, and didn't give. If every cell in your body was just all about the ego mindset, it's about me. Paul has a tendency to talk about that when he talks about the hand, saying to the foot, I have no need of you. I'm magnificent. I'm a hand. I don't need a foot. Or the ear to say to the eye, I have no need of you. If your body did that, the system that is your human body would eventually die. And we have a name for that kind of mindset. It is called cancer. And so as we examine the body of Pachamama, which we are a part of, we need to ask ourselves the question on Earth Day, am I a cancer to the rivers? Am I just a cancer, or am I a part of the river? Am I a cancer to the trees? Am I only in it for myself? And then I begin to have a mindset that says I'm going to think and be awake and be conscious with every step I take, every action I take, to ask that question. Is what I'm about to do, what I'm about to participate in, adding to the holistic system? Is it an altruistic, Kabbalistic approach to life? Or am I simply polluting the environment? And that can happen 100 different ways. But we need to ask ourselves the question and pay attention. Science is showing us. So this is not necessarily a political discourse today. Take that aside. I've looked at the facts. I've looked at the signs. The honeybees are dying. They are going away. Now, there's 100 different reasons that might be. I'm not going to tell you what reason it is, but I'm going to tell you that Pachamama is speaking. And the honeybees are speaking because those honeybees are absolutely crucial to us being here today. They are crucial to that breath that you just took. And so, all we're asking you to do is to listen. To listen to Pachamama. She is speaking. You know, animals hunt. They're animals that prey. And it's a known fact, they only hunt what they need to survive. And then they stop hunting. Now, I've fallen in love with a wonderful human program that's entertaining, a little bit edgy, and a horrible demonstration of the toxic system that we're in. It's called Storage Wars. Have you ever seen it? We're fighting over our stuff. We, as prey animals, we get enough to sustain ourselves, but we need a little bit more. Just a little bit more. So look at the storehouses around here. I told my wife that if I ever have so much stuff that I have to have 3 storage units to hold my stuff, put me out of my misery and shoot me. Now, my garage is pretty full, so I might want to do some releasing and letting go that we talked about. But the reality is we are prey animals. Yet I think we are in a system that has lost the spiritual law of reciprocity and altruism. That is, we are founded in and as. We might learn something from the lions and the bears and the cheetahs and only take what we need and then use the energy of our mind and our heart not to gather more stuff, but to say, how can I now give back to an environment? How can I now give back to a humanity that needs me as much as I need them? Only taking as much as we need. And that reminds me of Our master teacher, our elder brother, in Matthew chapter 6, he beautifully said it, do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, but store up for yourself treasures in heaven. Where is heaven? Heaven is within. It is the place that I'm fine, I'm whole, I'm perfect, I'm complete. I don't need anything out here to complete me. Heaven is in the relationship of oneness. As I send a prayer to Syria through Pachamama, or I send a prayer to my father and my mother in California through Pachamama, a prayer that transcends words, an energy and a language that is just a place of being, that is Pachamama. So in unity circles, we talk about that spiritual law a lot, the law of reciprocity. Sometimes it's called give and take. Sometimes it's sow and reap. Sometimes it's the law of karma. Today, I want to call it, I scratch your back, you scratch mine. That's the law of reciprocity. Pachamama is speaking to us. Scratch my back. Let's put that picture back up. The first one, Diana. The one of Pachamama laying there. Pachamama is saying, scratch that arm. Spend some time on that arm and let me know that you're in a partnership with me. Let me know that I'm not alone here, that I'm not in a give, but I'm in a receive as well. Mother Earth is talking, and every footstep we take is an opportunity to give back. There are 5 million ways you can give back, and I'm not going to list those today. You know what they are in your life. You know the actions that you're taking that are either serving as a cancer or serving as a part of a whole. I'm just asking you to be mindful. Today, that's all we do here is we ask you to be conscious. We ask you to be aware that you're in a beautiful dance with Pachamama. We are in a beautiful circle dance with Pachamama, a circle where our humanness and our divinity comes together and we take care of each other because we are one. You see, the home that we live in, our relationships, our community will only be as healthy as we recognize the great spiritual laws of reciprocity and start fulfilling our end of the law. That's not to preach, it's not to shame, it's not to blame, it's just to say, be awake. Stay awake. I'd like to offer a final quote from I called the garden ministry, our beautiful organic garden ministry that understands, and they spend time every week with Pachamama in the back parking lot. Jay Schofield and Janet Privatera are the heads of that, and I called them and I said, give me something that talks about what it is you do back there. Ever mindful of the voice, the breath, and the beauty of our cherished Mother Earth, we offer thanks and respect to her as we lovingly plant, nurture, and harvest in the energetic circle of life. They didn't know what I was going to say today, yet they ended their quote with an energetic circle of life. Whether it be science, whether it be spirituality, it is a circular give and receive, and we must be involved in it. Right now, I'm going to invite you to open up your heart. I'm going to show a video. You keep your eyes open for this meditation. At the end of it, Cecilia is going to ground these beautiful images into your heart. But let this video and the song that accompanies it be an invitation that your spirituality is going to be found in the dance. Not in the next workshop, but in the planting, in the harvesting, in the energetic circle of life. Go ahead and play the video.
I have seen your tears fall when I walk I say there is no God when all around creation calls a singing bird, a mighty tree, the vast expanse of open sea. Gazing at a bird in flight, soaring through the air, lying down beneath the stars, I feel your presence there. I love to stand at ocean shore and feel the thundering breakers roar, to walk through golden fields of grain, neath endless blue horizons listening to a river run, watering the earth, fragrance of a rose in bloom, a newborn's cry at birth. How could I say there is no God when all around creation